Hi, I'm Dwayne from Travel by the Book TV, and we are in Los Angeles on the lovely campus of UCLA. This beautiful building behind me is the Powell Library. The Powell Library will forever be part of literary history because it is inside this library that Ray Bradbury wrote the very first draft of Fahrenheit 451. We're going to explore this cool library. Then we're going to go to the place where Bradbury wrote his draft and talk about why he happened to write it here. Finally, we're going to have lunch at Cafe 451, a cafe dedicated to Ray Bradbury. The Powell Library is one of UCLA's original buildings. It was built in 1929, is the main undergraduate library, and is known simply by most as the campus library. Bradbury spoke a lot about how awesome it was to be writing a book about books, about the power of books, in a place where he was surrounded by them. He said whenever he wanted a break, he would come up here to the stacks and just browse through his favorites. Perfect. In 1950, Ray Bradbury started writing a story that he called The Fireman, which would eventually become Fahrenheit 451. But he was writing at home. He had a little office set out in the garage, a typewriter in the garage, and his young girls would come in and bother him quite a bit, which he said he had to choose between writing his book and playing with his daughters, and the daughters always won. So he started to think maybe he should get a separate office where he could focus on writing this book, but they couldn't afford it. So he found here in the Powell Library, in the basement, a room that was full of typewriters. And for 10 cents an hour, anyone could just sit at the typewriter and type to his heart's content. Well, he said that he was motivated by two things to work quickly. One, paying 10 cents an hour. Two, wanting to get back to his daughters. And so in 9 days, he hammered out the first draft of Fahrenheit 451 right here in the basement of Powell. As the literary pilgrims that you are, you'll want to come down and see this spot and pay homage to this place where this great book was created. But to do it, you don't go through the main library of Powell, which is worth seeing, but which is crowded with students. You can do it by coming down through this quiet entryway right here. To room 70. And here we are. So this room behind me is room 70, and it's currently the Office of Instructional Development, but in 1950, it was a typing room, and it was here that Ray Bradbury came and wrote the first draft of Fahrenheit 451. UCLA has celebrated that and has put up a plaque here right outside the room celebrating its unique history in literature. In commemoration of author Ray Bradbury writing Fahrenheit 451 in 1950 and 1953 at this site, the UCLA Library's former typewriter rental room. And we're going to finish up by eating lunch at Cafe 451, named in honor of Ray Bradbury. Now, Cafe 451 is in the Charles E. Young Research Library. It's actually in a different library across campus, but just a short walk. So if you're coming to see the plaque as a literary pilgrim to celebrate Ray Bradbury's writing of Fahrenheit 451, cross campus about, maybe a quarter mile, and have lunch at Cafe 451. I'm at Cafe 451. It's a coffee shop. I bought a prepackaged sandwich for my lunch. I'm Dwayne from Travel by the Book TV. Keep reading, keep traveling, keep watching. I've got a good book to read, so I'm set. Fahrenheit 451 is not just a book about books, but it's a book about society turning away from them, turning into immersing ourselves into media and television, which was new at the time. And now look at you watching travel shows on YouTube on your phone.